8% of the vote in Nevada. We're waiting for 5% of the vote in Pennsylvania, where that percentage split 49.4 for Joe Biden, 49.3 for President Donald Trump. We're waiting for 1% in Georgia, 4,169 votes to be exact, and about 40% in Alaska. Now, when former Vice President Joe Biden won the Democratic nomination, one of his main bargaining chips was that he was going to be the candidate to take back the Midwest. This is what we're looking at right now on this Friday afternoon. A couple of those states, you can see he had a pretty good performance in a lot of these states. And if you compare that to what we saw in the previous presidential election in 2016. Remember, this is what we know right now. Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan all blue, including Illinois. In 2016, take a look at the states that actually changed there. Those bargaining chips that he mentioned on the campaign trail and before the nomination itself for the Democratic Party actually came into play here. We are following breaking news on this Friday morning. The time is now 8:55. I'm Michael Hudak in the WCTV newsroom. Former Vice President Joe Biden has officially taken over the lead in the state of Pennsylvania. As you can see, these numbers coming into our newsroom moments ago. The lead is slim still, and there's still about 50,000 outstanding votes in Pennsylvania. 5,587 is the lead for former Vice President Joe Biden. This is a developing story, breaking news just into our newsroom literally moments ago. Earlier this morning, he took the lead in the state of Georgia by ever so slight margin. That lead is still about 1,096 there. President Trump has the lead in North Carolina, but the big developing story here is Pennsylvania. And if that state were to go blue, if things were to stay as they were right now, according to the Associated Press, that would give former Vice President enough electoral college votes to win the presidency, officially 284 votes. And if you take a look at what happened in 2016, that would make 4 states, given the fact that we do not know the official numbers in Georgia yet, that would give 4 states that flipped from 2016. These two in the Midwest and Pennsylvania flipping blue. Again, nothing official yet, but the breaking news story is that former Vice President Joe Biden has taken the lead in Pennsylvania. We've got all the latest updates for you on air and online at WCTV.tv throughout the day. Depending on where that state sways, that could determine the entire presidency in 2020. And why that's also extremely important is because when we look at the actual counties in Nevada, these numbers updated roughly 20 moments ago. You see these numbers in a county like Washoe that's supporting Biden, leaning towards Biden, 50.8%. President Donald Trump has been very dominant in these other counties, but a place like Clark County, where Las Vegas is located, about 53% leaning towards Joe Biden. That number increasing in the last 20 to 30 minutes with about 85%. These numbers actually need to be updated. 85% in Clark County. You can see that President Trump would now need to win about 70% of the remaining 90,000 votes to take that county. If he takes that county, he will likely take the state. And if he takes that state, he will likely take the president. It's too early to officially call these races, but here's what we know right now. We begin in Leon County, where Sheriff Walt McNeil wins easily over Tommy Mills, as you can see, 74 to 26%. Now to the Leon County School Board. This is for the 4th District. Breaking overnight is the state of Arizona, where, as you can see, former Vice President Joe Biden taking Arizona, becoming just the 2nd Democratic candidate to win Arizona since 1948. And in fact, Arizona was red in 2016 in the 2016 election when President Donald Trump first won the White House. That flipped from red to blue, specifically from some counties around the Phoenix, Arizona area. But I want to take a look at what we know right now is going on across the country. These are the official numbers. Georgia, you mentioned, way too close to call at this point, but President Donald Trump has a slight lead there. We mentioned those percentages earlier. They've had some technical difficulties counting the ballots in places like Fulton County, where the State Farm Arena, where the Atlanta Hawks play basketball, they had a water pipe break in the ballot room. So they had to stop everything, make sure those ballots did not get damaged or impaired in any way. They did not, so that's good news, but they had to stop everything, recount, and just make sure everything was okay. Another pipe burst in another place in Fulton County. So still, even though there's 92% of the vote accounted for in Georgia, there's still 8% that we don't know. But what we do know is that President Trump has a pretty sizable lead in Pennsylvania. 20 electoral college votes are up for grabs in the state of Pennsylvania. He's got a lead of about 700,000 right there. And if you've been tempted to say, does my vote really matter? Should I really go go to the polls? Should I really make that effort to do the mail-in ballot and early voting and all of those kinds of concerns? Yeah, it absolutely does. If you take a look at the state of Wisconsin, that race is separated by 8,000 votes in the entire state. The percentage right now, 49.2% to former Vice President Joe Biden, 49.0% to President Donald Trump. Over here in Nevada, we've still got some time left in this race right here. But again, that's another race separated by 8,000 votes. Still a lot of variable to hear right now. North Carolina, as you can see, that one's a little bit more sizable for President Donald Trump at 202,732,104. He's got that lead by about 80,000 votes. We've got all the latest throughout the rest of the morning, including hypotheticals and what each candidate needs to do to win the White House.